You are listening to the William Gomes Podcast. I am William Gomes, and I am grateful to have you here. Today, I want to explore the biological side of autism. When people hear the word biology, they often think of brain scans, genes, or scientific language that feels far removed from everyday life. But understanding autism from a biological perspective does not mean reducing a person to images or data. It simply means looking at how development unfolds in the brain and body, and how those early differences shape the way an autistic person experiences the world. Biology is one part of a much bigger picture, but it offers valuable insights. It helps us understand why autism begins so early, why it presents differently across individuals, and why it cannot be traced to one single factor. Biology is not about finding something wrong, it is about understanding difference. One of the most important things biology teaches us is that autism is developmental. It emerges as the brain grows and organizes itself. From a very young age, certain pathways develop differently. These pathways influence how a child notices the world, how they recognize patterns, how they process movement and sound, and how they connect with the people around them. Brain development is incredibly complex. There is no one autistic brain pattern. Instead, research shows a wide range of differences in how regions communicate with one another. Some autistic people show stronger activity in areas related to detail processing. Others show differences in how sensory information is filtered. Some show variation in long-range communication between brain regions. Rather than pointing to a single explanation, biology reveals a landscape of diversity. Genes also play a role, but not in a simple or deterministic way. There is no single autism gene. Instead, hundreds of genes can influence development, each contributing a small part to the picture. These genes shape how brain circuits form, how neurons communicate, and how sensory information is organized. What this means is that autism is not caused by one factor. It is the result of many small differences coming together in unique ways. This is why autistic people are so varied. Their developmental paths are shaped by combinations of influences, not a single blueprint. It is also important to recognize that biology interacts with experience. The environment surrounding a child, their relationships, their routines, their sensory world, shapes development alongside biology. Autism is not something separate from life. It is something that grows within life, influenced by both the body and the world around it. Another aspect of biology is sensory processing. Many autistic people experience the world with heightened or reduced sensitivity. Biology helps explain why certain sounds feel sharper, why some movements feel calming, or why certain textures feel unbearable. These differences are not imagined. They reflect variations in how sensory pathways receive, organize, and interpret information. Sensory experiences are deeply biological, and they shape behavior in powerful ways. Biology also reminds us that autism is not a single condition. Because there are many pathways into autistic development, there are many autistic profiles. Some children speak early, others speak later. Some crave sensory input, others avoid it. Some have strong attention to detail, others excel in pattern recognition. Biology helps us understand this variation as natural, not as an error. What biology cannot do is tell us who a person is. It cannot measure personality, empathy, creativity, or potential. It cannot predict the richness of an autistic person's inner world. It cannot define friendships, passions, or identity. Biology explains difference, not value. As we explore autism further in this series, biology will be one of several perspectives we draw upon. It gives us insight, but it is only part of the story. Autism is lived through relationships, emotions, environments, and culture. It is shaped by how the world responds to difference. Biology tells us that autistic minds develop differently. The rest of this series will help us understand what those differences mean in everyday life. Thank you for listening. This is the William Gomes Podcast. Take care of yourself, stay curious, and I will speak with you again soon.